And what's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Network, right here at the center of the sports universe, and that's Coach's Corner. That's right. It's Karl, the coach, DeMasi, the coach, as everybody likes to say. It's January 15th. I'm glad to be back in the saddle again. Last week was kind of strange. I did the show from inside my house, and it's not the same. I know there's nobody out here in the Sound Garden. That's right. I'm on the stage at the Sound Garden. And like I say every week, I'm not going to sing for you, but there's just something about the ambience, the atmosphere around this place. And, you know, I can't wait till my other sidekick gets back here. And that's, of course, the other Coach's Corner Sports Network show, Rubbin' and Grubbin'. That's right. Brandon Bain, the Atlanta man, and the OG himself, Lawrence Bennett, who's sitting here critiquing me right now. Just as long as he doesn't come up and come through my light here, I'll be fine, my ring light. But once again, it's always a lot of fun being here. Just something about it. I got to thank John Henderson and Dell Henderson for letting me do this for, man, it's almost 4 years now. I can't believe it. And it's just a lot of fun. What's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report about? About local sports, Savannah area sports. We do jump on the college sports and the national sports, but it's basically about what's going on here locally in Savannah, Georgia. Like I like to say, we take 3 steps in the door. Step number 1 is talk about the local sports, what's going on here. As far as high school sports. Step number 2, we talk a little about the colleges, Georgia, okay? But I will be rooting for Notre Dame, even though my kids cringed at me because I was rooting for Georgia against Notre Dame. They grew up Notre Dame fans. I grew up a Notre Dame fan. But you know what? I've been here too long here in the South. I'm a Southern Yankee, and you got to root for the Bulldogs, okay? And then, of course, step number 3, we'll talk about professional sports that are related to Savannah, Georgia. So whether you join me for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it may be, you got to love it. Guests tonight, okay? We have 3 guests. One's pre-recorded because right now he's coaching his basketball team over at St. Andrews. We'll have Mel Abrams talking about the 2025 edition of St. Andrews Lions basketball. That's about 7:15. 7:30, Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week. You got to love it. You got to love these good kids. And that's why I do this, okay? We'll be talking to a just committed to Murray State, 4-year starter at Richmond Hill on that offensive line that was unbelievable this year. And we're going to be talking, I got to get this right, Thomas Zimbalatti. You know what I mean? DeMasi Zimbalatti, you know, ends in a valve. It's another Italian, okay? What's the matter with you? Forget about it. But, yeah, Thomas will be on about 7:30. And then at 7:45, we're going to talk to a guy that everybody knows here, coached almost 20 years at Bethesda Academy, went over, got an assistant job at Savannah State. Hey, Horace Broadnax. Okay, retired January 6th. My man, Kelvin Thompson, is now the interim head coach at Savannah State. We'll talk to him about 7:45. All right, 3 steps in the door. Let's get this rock and rolling, okay? Step number 1, youth and high school sports. Basketball rankings, it's basketball season. And, of course, the voice, the man of high school basketball, Kyle Sandy, sandyspiels.com, okay, has local teams ranked. So let's start with the boys. In AAA, last week's guest, Aaron Clark. Go check it out. Go to the, okay, let me put my little Lawrence likes when I do this. Right there. Go subscribe to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. And you also can watch Aaron's interview from last week. The Windsor Forest Knights are ranked number 8 in Class 3A. They're off to a 12-3 start. Class AD2, Savannah High dropped from number 1 to number 2. They're 11-4. And in Class 3A to 1A private, Calvary Day School dropped from 5 to 6. They're 8-5. I can't believe Benedictine's not ranked. Oh, man. All right, but that's another story. I got to talk to my man Kyle about that. All right. Girls basketball, Bradwell Institute girls, okay? Got to talk about them. They're ranked number 7. They dropped from number 5 to number 7. They're 16-2. Kyle, what do you know about these teams that we don't, okay? Then, of course, Bryan County girls, Mario Mincy, had him on a couple of weeks ago. Once again, go to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report on YouTube. Subscribe. You can check out his interview. The Redskins, Lady Redskins, they're 14-2. They dropped from number 3 to number 4. So, can't figure out rankings. We got to go to Max Prep Sports because we got to talk about St. Andrews boys. They're off to a 14-3 start. They're ranked number 2 in the Georgia Independent Athletic Association rankings. Number 2, St. Andrews boys. We'll talk to Coach Mel Abrams about 7:15 or pre-recorded, so you can check out what he has to say. Then in the GIAA Class A, the Memorial Day School girls, the Lady Matadors, 8-3. You got to love it. Now, if you check out the Prep Sports Report, I do the standings every Monday. here's the local teams that are in first place. On the boys' side, in Class 4A, Region 3, Benedictine is 2-0. They're tied with Warner Robins. They had a big game last night against New Hampstead. Check out the article that Nathan Dominance wrote about the game last night. Benedictine off to an unbelievable start. Caleb Jones had 30 points. Makai Williams had 20 points. They scored 67 points on night. That's 50 out of 67. What a tandem over there for the cadets. Frankie Williams, Dr. Frankie Williams, Dougie as we call him. Great job. In Class 3A, in Class 3A boys, Calvary Day School is in first place at 5-0 in that big Region 3. They have like a gazillion teams in that region. In GIAA, 4A, 3A division, District 2, St. Andrews is in first place at 1-0. They knocked off the lead at Frederica Academy. They blew them out. So, once again, on the girls' side, Bradwell Institute is in first place in the Class 5A Region 1. Calvary Day School girls 5-0 in the 3A Region 3. Bryan County girls are tied with Metter and Screven. All three teams are 7-1 in that Class A D2 Region 3. In Class 1A Region 4, in the GAPS, that's the Georgia Association of Private and Parochial Schools, the Haberdasher girls are off to a 2-0 start, and they're in first place. We had two 1,000-point scores this past week. Got to talk about last night. Senior Jamonte Brown out of Savannah High reached the 1,000-point career mark and a win over Meadow last night. Then last week, well, I think it was the day after my show or before my show. I didn't know that. She's only a sophomore, okay? Jamonte Brown's a senior. She's only a sophomore at Beach High School. Mariah Reed passed the 1,000-point mark. I think last year as a freshman, she scored 638 points. Madon, you know what I mean? Talk a little Italian there. So just a great job, okay? All right, don't forget, spring is in the air, and so are Savannah athletes. Baseball, soccer, golf, lacrosse, track and field, riflery are hitting the ground running. Practice kick off at the end of the month. Air riflery has already started. So it's the time of season where we got 20 different sports going on at once. Step 2 in the door, college, okay? College football championship, that's all we got to talk about, okay? It's going to be Notre Dame, who was ranked 7 out of the 12 teams. Ohio State, who was ranked 8th out of the 12 teams, are playing for the national championship Monday night right here in the Sound Garden, in Coach's Corner, gazillion TVs. You want to be here for that party. College football's first football playoff championship. The Irish, who beat our Dogs, but I'm still an Irish fan, going against the Buckeyes out of Ohio State. It's going to be pretty special, so check it out. All right, men's basketball, like I told you, Savannah State, they're 4-6 in conference play. January 6th, Horace Broadnex, who was there for 20 years, resigned. New coach, Kelvin Thompson, taking over. Okay, first game out of the gate, he won, but they've dropped the last two. They'll be playing Saturday, so I'll tell you who they're playing Saturday in a couple of seconds. All right, the second game, they lost to Morehouse, and then they lost to Albany State. No, sorry, they beat Morehouse, they lost to Albany State, and they lost to Fort Valley State. The women are off. Coach Baker does a great job. They're off to a 7-8 start, 3-6 in conference play. They hit the road. They split. They lost to Albany State, and then they came back and beat Fort Valley State. So this Saturday over at Tiger Arena, up in Atlanta, both girls teams will be up in both Tiger teams will be up in Atlanta against Clark Atlanta. The women will go at 2 p.m. The guys will go at 4 p.m. Okay, so basketball. Georgia, basketball. Unbelievable start. You got to check them out. They're ranked for the first time in I don't know how long. They beat 2 top 20 teams. I'm excited about this. You know, when do we talk about Georgia basketball? But Georgia basketball is on the radar again. So check it out. Dogs are one of the top teams in the SEC. And they said this, all right? Georgia or the SEC might be the best conference in basketball. We know football, they're one of the best. All right, drop a comment. Like I said, he's watching over there. He's got his Scully on. He's got his hood on. Good evening, Coach DeMasi. It's chilly tonight. Well, that's what happens when you have no hair, Lawrence. You know, I'm Italian. I got a lot of hair. So, but it's there. Thanks, Lawrence, for checking in. So if you got a comment, put it in the comment box so we can bring it out, okay? All right, I got to get rolling here. Step three, that's right, pro sports, playoffs. Playoffs? That's right. We're in the NFL football playoffs. We're going to the big 4 games this weekend. Kansas City had a bye, but Houston, Buffalo, Baltimore advanced to the divisional round. The Texans dominated Chargers. I didn't think it was going to be that way. The Bills dominated the Broncos, and the Ravens beat the Steelers. So throw Kansas City in there. It's going to be pretty interesting this weekend. Over in the NFC, Detroit had the bye. So the Eagles defeated the Packers. The Commanders, unbelievable. Jaden Daniels, I know, he went to LSU. Lawrence is over there excited. He's got his hand pump up. He's going, go Tigers, go Tigers. Okay. I mean, the kid's up phenomenal. Beat the Buccaneers. So they're going to go on. And then, of course, Vikings didn't show up. The Rams. And I know LA with the fires. Bless all those people. God bless all those people that there's devastation out there. But the Rams played for their people. They blew out the Vikings. So it's going to be pretty cool. So Saturday, right here at Coach's Corner, 4:30, Texans take on the Chiefs. Okay. And then at 8 o'clock, the Commanders take on the Lions. I got to watch that game. Then on Sunday, right here in Coach's Corner again, at 3 o'clock, we got the Rams against the Eagles in Philadelphia. Okay. And then we got the Ravens against the Bills at 6:30. So check it out right here at Coach's Corner. Hawks are off to a great start. They're 20-19. They split this week. Okay. Tonight, they're taking on the Chicago Bulls at 8 p.m. in ATL. All right. The Braves, big acquisition today. Today was International Draft Day. The Braves signed 16-year-old, that's right, 16-year-old Cuban outfielder Diego Torrens to a $2.5 million bonus signing contract. I hope this kid is as good as all that money he's getting. We need some good players coming to the Braves. We need some pitching. We didn't sign Matt Scherzer yet. What are we waiting for? 1 year. Bring him in. Let's bring him in, people. All right. Spring training broadcast. You know, we had all that stuff with Bally Sports last year. But there's who's the new broadcast team? Who's the new company that's taking over the Braves this year? Okay, I'll find out for you. But this is exciting. We're not getting 25 preseason games. We're getting 30. And on Sunday Night Baseball, March 30th, we got the Braves against San Diego. I'm excited about it. It's baseball. Spring training starts in 1 month. Go Braves. Okay. PGA Tour, we started. Brian Harmon played the first 2 tournaments. Last weekend, he finished 21st. He was more consistent. How do you finish 21st and you shoot 10 under? I don't know. But this week, he's playing at the American Express Open in La Quinta, California. Savannah Ghost Pirates, 18-14-2, over 500, but they're in 8th place. They're playing 3 days now. They're playing 3 games straight on the road against the Florida Everglades. Tonight, they take them on. Florida Everglades is in 2nd place, so they need some wins here. Florida Everglades is Everblades, not Glades. Everblades are 24-7-3. Tonight, 7:30. Then Friday and Saturday go back-to-back in Florida against the Everblades. So they sweep 3 games here. They're looking pretty good. So we got to keep our fingers crossed. FanDuel. You want us to go on FanDuel? FanDuel? FanDuel is now into promoting. I just found this out. FanDuel took over Bally Sports, so maybe we won't get knocked out of there. So we can watch more Braves games. More frustrating when you can't watch them, okay? All right. Last segment. What's going on in Soundgarden? I got to get out of here quick. Saturday, February 8th, the opening of the Soundgarden concert series. Okay, we'll have the Yacht Club. That's right. You like Yacht Club music? Superfest kicks off that weekend. It's Super Bowl weekend. It's going to be a great day here in the Soundgarden. Don't forget, we have a new adventure right here on the campus. That's right. This is the campus of Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Right across the parking lot, we got Thunderbolt indoor golfing games. Check it out. Indoor golf, 2 simulators. You can play any golf course in the world. They're going to add games to it, I guess, like deer hunting and duck hunting and those games I've never learned how to play. So just come over here. Check it out. John Henderson will help you. Go to coaches.net. You can find out or go to Thunderbolt in the indoor golfing games on the internet, and you can find out how you can sign up and check it out. All right, so check it out because you know what? It's all sports, all food, all fun here. Since when, Lawrence? 1991. Okay, got to take a break. Got to come back with my first guest, which is pre-recorded. We're going to be talking to Mel Abrams, the head coach at St. Andrews. It's recorded. Then at 7:30, you're waiting for it. We're going to have the man himself. We're going to have Thomas Zimbalatti, okay, talking about his signing to Murray State out of Richmond Hill High School. I'm excited about it. Let me get out of here. 3 minutes. We'll be back with Coach Abrams. And at 7:30, we'll be here with Thomas. And at 7:45, we'll be here with the new interim head ball coach, Kelvin Thompson, over at Savannah State. Be right back. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. They're talking Italian right here. Goomba. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events. An outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day. A wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails. A comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round. Prompt service even when it's crowded. A fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends. And of course, delicious food. From famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded sound garden. Now, more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day.
Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary Day School, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions to Christ at Calvary Day School. We would consider it a privilege to meet with you and your family personally. Call Alicia Bain, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room, if you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. What's up, people? What's up, fans? It's the coach. Hey, next guy, first guest, couldn't come at basketball practice, so I pre-recorded this this morning with him. Check it out, St. Andrews School Lions boys basketball program. They're off to a hot start. They're 14-3. They got 2 big games coming up this weekend, but you know what? They knocked off the other first-place team last night, Frederica Academy, but no. Here's my interview with the man himself, joining me on the Coach's Corner hot seat, Mel Abrams, the head coach at St. Andrews School. Okay, sports fans, it's a Wednesday night. It's the coach, Karl DeMasi. Once again, got to love doing this. It's January 15th, and sometimes the guest cannot be here, okay? And this young man can't be here because he's coaching up his basketball team for 2 big games coming up this weekend. Had a big win last night over region foe, rival, Frederica Academy. But he's got his team off to a great start again, 14-3, 2-0 in region play. But let me tell you something. He's up to a new challenge. So joining me right now, okay, is Coach Mel Abrams, the head coach for the St. Andrews Lions basketball program for the past 9 years. He's got over 20 years experience and a proven ability to develop championship caliber teams. Coach Abrams has stepped into a new role this season, which he hasn't realized it, but he probably has, guarding a roster with new faces and shaping them into, once again, contenders, state championship contenders. He does have one special player back, Zayden Edwards, which always helps. We'll talk about him later on. But under his leadership, the Lions have embraced the challenges of rebuilding while maintaining their proud tradition of excellence. They're not really rebuilding. I would say he's reloading like he does every year. So let's dive into Coach Abrams' journey, his approach to this transitional season, and vision for the future of St. Andrews basketball. Joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat is the man himself from St. Andrews School on the Marsh, Coach Mel Abrams. What's up, Coach? How's it going?
Good morning, Coach. And as always, thank you for all that you do. And I'm grateful and appreciate this opportunity to be on.
Yeah, we've talked many times. It's about the kids. That's why I started this. And little do people know, a little trivia question, where did the Prep Sports Report start?
I would say at St. Andrews.
St. Andrews in 2000. The girls' coach, AD back then, Deb Morrell, who won a couple of state championships herself. We started this. It was called the Prep Sports Report. It's still called the Prep Sports Report. We took it off of a local paper that was doing it, but they wanted a lot of money for you to get your kids publicity. So we said, let's do our own. So it's been going strong. And then, of course, I went a little off with the Karl DeMasi Sports Report about 10 years later, which is still going strong on the internet. So it's something special about St. Andrews. I was there 2 years. I got a little yearly thing up there on that banner too. So, you know, I've been part of that proud tradition. And the basketball's always been great over there at St. Andrews.
Absolutely. And listen, we know your better half is here as well. So she keeps us all in line.
Yeah, we came together, and she's been there 24 years. So, but she loves it. She loves working there. She loves being there. You know, she enjoys it. So I know people think sometimes she's a little hard because she controls a lot of what's going on in the financial world of St. Andrews, but she loves St. Andrews, and my daughter graduated from there. So it's just been a great experience for the whole family. So what I do now on Wednesday nights is I bring in a coach or somebody from the local sports arena, and I ask them 4 questions. I call it 4 quarters with the coach. So I'm going to throw 4 questions at you, and I guess you can know what it's geared towards, because this season's something different for you. It's, you know, a lot of new faces, a lot of new players. You have that one special player that's leading the way for you. So we got 4 quarters with Coach Mel Abrams. Okay, so number 1, okay, with a roster that's almost entirely new this season, how have you approached rebuilding or reloading the teams or the program's foundation, instilling a championship mindset in these new faces, the new Lions over there at St. Andrews?
It's been interesting. I would say this year has presented some new opportunities and new challenges, like you mentioned. The last 4 or 5 years, we've had guys that just kind of knew what we were doing and how to play with one another within the framework, the foundation of what we were trying to do. So a lot of the coaching time during those years was really more in-game planning, executing. This year, we found ourselves going back to a lot of the foundational things. I mean, simple stuff like how we want to pass the ball, what spacing, because you have a lot of new people that are new to the program. And so we found ourselves doing a lot more teaching on some of the foundational things and philosophy. And so it's been different in that regard, because you're playing games now, still not having that foundation of all the skills and all the terminology and all the principles intact. And so we've been learning as we go. We've been fortunate that these guys have kind of bought in, and Zayden has done a good job of kind of leading that charge. So it's been different in that regard. It's more foundational teaching, fundamental things that we feel are unique to who we want to be as a basketball program. So a lot more teaching this year.
All right, and great segue, great transition, okay? Quarter number 2 is leadership and impact. Zayden Edwards is the only player with the state championship experience, state championship rings. How has his leadership on and off the court influenced the team, and how have you seen him grow as a player and a leader over these 4 years when you had that little kid come in as a freshman?
He's always had leadership capabilities and characteristics. He's one of those people that I think just has been blessed by God to lead and be a leader. I think this year, with him being the only returning player from those championship teams, this has become solely kind of his group, along with Amari Cook, who was on our team last year. But I think that leadership characteristic is probably the thing that separates him from most players. During his recruiting process, I often spoke to coaches and told them who he is in the locker room and what he does for your culture probably is more valuable than what he does as a player. And so he's done a really good job with a lot of our new guys who have transitioned into not just the basketball program, but St. Andrew's School and what that looks like academically, and who the teachers are, what their expectations are in the classroom. He's just done a great job holistically of helping these guys transition, creating a culture where everybody has felt embraced and welcome. Freshmen who are a part of our program not feeling intimidated and feeling embraced. And so he's really done a good job of allowing all of that transition and all of these new faces to kind of have the success we've had, considering there's a lot of new faces.
He's a great kid. I mean, I've interviewed him a number of times, and it's not just all about basketball. It's about his academics. It's about his calling with the Lord. I mean, his father is a preacher. His mother's very religious, and the whole family is into that. And he leads by example. And I agree 100%. It's something special. And talking about something special. I could probably name a handful of players that were something special. You knew that they were going to be something special. What's it like coaching someone special like him? And of course, you had his brother before him, Zaire.
Yes. I mean, we all, as coaches, we all have things we appreciate about our players, and they're unique to them. Zaire was a very dynamic player in terms of his speed, quickness, anticipation. Zayden is just one of those players that can impact winning, and not just on the court. When you win, it's all the other stuff. It's students who go to class and do what they're supposed to do. It's the locker room embracing coaching and being coachable. Leaders echoing what the coaches are saying and making sure everybody is on the same page with what they're supposed to do. It's all of those things that make him unique and special. During my time, man, I'll be blessed if I find another one who kind of brings all of that to the table. He's a person who can impact winning and success, and the ball doesn't have to go in the basket. So in that regard, I think he's unique.
All right. Quarter number 3, you talked about setting the foundation again, teaching fundamentals, but there's got to be a little challenge here, Coach. So what has been the biggest challenge so far this season, both on and off the court, for you and the Lions program, and how has the team adapted to those challenges?
The challenge is every coach has non-negotiables, right? Every program is going to be different in terms of how they want to play and what is paramount and what's important to them. So for us, it's been different in that regard. We are a defensive-minded first team, and we do talk about details and how the big picture things don't happen if the little things don't happen. And so we've been challenging guys to not necessarily be focused on points and all the big things, but did you set the screen right? Did you run hard in that lane that created a domino effect of an overreaction for the defense, which created an open shot for someone else? And so really getting guys to understand that it's so many other different facets to the game that you can make a difference without necessarily scoring the basketball has been, I think, something that, most players are like, really? And then for us, sometimes I think young people think they're practicing hard and practicing the right way. And so it's for us really trying to get them to understand what will translate to success in terms of how you practice and the consistency by which you do that. That has been a challenge. And then, of course, for us, like some of the basic things that we think are important to the way we want to play, how we pass the ball, when we pass the ball, spacing, cutting hard, just all of those little things that may for another program may not be something that's important has been important to us, and really guys understanding, okay, I got to reprogram myself. I've been used to doing it this way. This is what is required in this program. This program is proven. And so maybe there's something to that. And seeing guys kind of get used to that and get adjusted to that, and realizing we're not going to negotiate on some of these things, and having to say, okay, I got to buy in and do this, has been probably the challenge, the thing that we've had to kind of work through the most.
All right, quarter number 4. So, I mean, you're off to another great start. So your vision, your challenges are seeing the results of how hard you're working with these young men. You just got a few weeks left. Like I said, a big win last night over Frederica Academy. You're going against Westminster of Augusta on Friday night. Saturday, you take it on Hilton Head Prep. Both teams only have 3 losses each. So what is your focus to ensure the team is prepared for the playoffs and a potential at another state championship run?
For us, it is staying true to the things that we believe will translate into postseason play, how we defend, how 5 guys on the court at one time being on the same page defensively, even more of an emphasis on boxing out and rebounding. That's something that I think hurt us in the Final Four game last year when we lost to Lakeview in overtime. They hurt us on the glass, and so that has been something that we've tried to really lay a foundation. And so for us, it's every day staying true to those things that we believe will help us be successful or put us in a position to at least have a chance, or the things that we focus on. And from game to game, tweaking here and there the styles of play and how teams play. Even this weekend, I mean, Westminster is totally different from Hilton Head Prep. Hilton Head Prep presents a lot of challenges with what they want to do. But for us, trying to minimize that learning curve by staying true to who we are defensively, and from game to game making an adjustment. So for us, it's been defense, boxing out and making sure we hold teams to one shot. And then offensively, playing with pace, space, and making the good, better, best pass that we talk about, and playing that way. But for us, it's really on that defensive end, and knowing that sometimes that ball don't go in the basket, but can we defend at a high level and hold teams to one shot?
All right, usually it's 4 quarters we're done, but I'm going to throw overtime here. We talked about Zayden. Hey, throw some love out to those other guys that have been stepping up this year for you.
Ooh, you know what's – I'll say this, Coach. You asked me earlier. What's been a joy is to have collective contributions, I would say. From game to game, it could be someone else that does make a play or plays a certain way that helps the team be successful. Of course, Jakari Glover is a huge presence. Just last night, he had 20 and 12. Miles Cummins at 6'7". Both of those guys are inside presence that has given us a way to play that we haven't played during my time here. You know, we can throw the ball inside. When teams zone us, it's a lot harder now because you can still throw it inside and get some baskets inside. So both of those guys stand out. Shaw Singleton, who came over from Calvary, has been playing his butt off, injured, kind of broke his thumb at the beginning of the year, kind of dealing with some things now with his leg, but he's gutting it out. We have freshman Paige Getter, who has made huge strides and played varsity quality minutes, has started a game or 2. He's been huge. He has a bright upside. MJ Scott and Shield Singleton are sophomores. Shield impacted the game last night in the game defensively. Amari Cook and the way he defends the basketball at a high level. And honestly, you know, we got about an 8-man rotation. Gus Bloom, who is one of our international students from Netherlands. All of those guys I named, hope I'm not forgetting anyone, but we have about 8 or 9 guys. Sometimes we play 10. Pat Jackson. All of those guys at some point this year has been on the court in a game and has done something to make a difference and impact our success. And oftentimes with those role players, it has been it hadn't been anything dealing with scoring. It's rebounding, boxing out, getting the steal, being in the right place on a defensive rotation. And then with MJ, Gus, and Paige, their ability to make shots, they have been able to contribute with that as well. But all of those guys has been huge.
No, everybody can't focus on just Zayden and Amari. They have to help everybody else. So they got to step it up. And those other guys coming off the bench or even starting this year for you guys are doing a great job. Well, Coach, always a pleasure. We'll be following you. You know, we got 3 or 4 weeks left, and then it goes into that playoff run, which I know at St. Andrews now falling short of that state title is something that you guys don't want to do. So keep it up. Pleasure watching you build that program and sustaining it at the high level you have. And like I always said, you're not afraid to play anybody. So keep it up. Great work. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. And as always, again, we appreciate everything you do, not only for St. Andrews and our student athletes, but the entire area of Savannah. We appreciate it very much, and you do great work, and keep going.
I appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
And I'm not going to mess it up. I haven't messed it up all show yet, but it's always go Lions.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Talk to you later.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Just a great guy. Loves what he does. Loves his kids at St. Andrews. And I mean, he had a chance a while back to leave, but you know what? He stayed, and he stayed to build a program that everybody here in the SAV, in the 912, in the southeast of Georgia know about, and even in up there in the Atlanta area, because he doesn't shy away from going up to the ATL and taking on those big boys. So he does a great job, and can't wait to see what they do in the playoff run. Once again, Mel Abrams, the head coach at St. Andrews School on the Marsh. That's what they used to call it. So he does a great job. There we go. I'm unmuted. Great guy. Cares about the kids. Love what he's doing. Has built that program to reach that state title. I guess the state title talent every year and out. He does a great job, and that's all I can say about Mel Abrams. He does a great job, and St. Andrews needs people to know about it. Just because they don't play in Georgia High School State Association or the Georgia Independent Athletic, or the Skeezer, they play in the Georgia Independent Athletic Association. It's just great. I got to slow down. I'm rushing here. We will not be going to our commercial break because this young man's been waiting patiently. I told him I have him on at 7:30. I'm already 7 minutes behind. You know what? And the coach likes to keep to his word. Okay, so we're spotlighting an incredible talent. Okay, this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from Richmond Hill, Thomas Zimbalatti. Okay, standing at 6'3", 330 pounds, this offensive lineman has been a dominant force since he's a freshman. That's right, a freshman, earning all-region honors every season. No small feat, playing in one of Georgia's toughest regions. Tom's played a pivotal role in helping Richmond Hill leading the region in rushing this year. I think they averaged like 280 yards a game. While he finally committed last week to play Murray State, the Racers, Murray State University, he has not only impressed the coaches there with his on-field skills, but also with his work ethic and his character. Coach Lazat, love Matt Lazat. He's been there 10 years now. He built the hill. The hill is still building. Calls him a great person, a great kid, and really a good football player. He's also noted that Thomas was an all-region player for 4 years in the toughest region in Georgia and highlighted his work ethic and contributions to Richmond Hill High School's community, saying that he represented the school to the highest standard and diligently built relationships with the college coaches so he can get to the next level. So stay right here because joining me right now on the Coach's Corner hot seat, this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from Richmond Hill High School, Thomas Zimbalatti. Okay, there we go, Thomas. Got you on the stage. I'm glad you've been waiting patiently. I appreciate it. Once again, congratulations getting to that next level.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, I mean, Richmond Hill now, has built a program that everybody knows about in the state. So tell me, though, since you're a freshman, you've been starting all region honors every year. Very impressive. How did you excel at such a young age, coming as a freshman in such a competitive environment and doing what you do?
A lot of it was like how I was brought up too. So I was always you got to work for what you get. So when I came in as a freshman, I mean, I knew what I wanted to do. I had goals set and aspirations for myself, and I went in there the first day of spring practice because they brought us up, the eighth graders up. So they selected a few eighth graders to bring us up and let us show up a little bit at the high school. So I was really excited to go out there and show what I can do. And just from there, when I got there, I didn't back down from nobody. I didn't take no for an answer. So I just kept grinding.
Well, you kept grinding because you made a name for yourself. That's a little Italian
Yes,
blood
sir.
in there too. So, right? So, but all right. So you guys led the region in rushing yards this year.
Right.
What specific contributions did you make to the team's offensive success, especially that offensive lineman?
You know, as an offensive line group, it's 5 guys. They're just hard-nosed dudes that just want to see the people in the backfield get in the end zone or even get the first down. So, you know, I wouldn't say there was like any individual thing that I did, like personally, maybe like some leadership stuff and just like rallying the guys on the offensive line, just getting us in the right mindset before games and stuff like that. But just it took a group of us to do what we did, and you know, my center and tackle. I mean, it was just being able to communicate and stuff like that was key. So you know, we did that, and then you know, the proof's in the pudding. You know, you communicate and do everything you're supposed to do. You get the results you want.
And you said it to start off, being an old lineman myself. When you have 5 guys, 5 fingers, 5
Right.
people working together,
Right.
it becomes a strong fist.
It
And
is.
that's what was so special about your line. We got someone checking in here. He wants to make a comment here. Okay, you probably know him. There he is, Charlie
Oh,
Moon.
there he is. Yeah, I think he
Chiming
was
in.
texting my dad a little bit earlier today.
So good luck, Thomas. Love you, Zimbo. Name
Yep.
as many times you can say that. So yeah, Charlie's a great guy. You know, he was the voice of hit Richmond Hill football for a while there.
He
So
was.
I think he knows you pretty well.
Yes, sir.
He asked me to ask you about some kind of steak.
Yeah, I love steak. Oh my God. That's my favorite food.
All right, what type? Ribeye, filet,
You know,
T-bone?
I had a T-bone last night for dinner, so I like T-bones and ribeyes.
Nice. All right, and like he another one right here. Ribeye is my favorite. He throws another one here. Love saying Zimbo on air after every time you pancake block the
There you go.
somebody.
There you
Good
go.
luck, dude. So
Yes, sir.
and then of course the man behind the scenes that got this Coach's Corner Sports Network going. He's over on the other side watching, and he says, Thomas, great season this year. Congratulations. Good luck. You have the best hair in the Tri-County area. Looking forward to watching you play at the next level.
Yes, sir.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
that's because he's got no hair. He's got a Scully on right now.
Oh, Lord.
So, all right. And then, of course, Charlie keeps jumping in here. Dude eats raw steak. Raw steaks.
Yeah. I remember that was what, freshman year. I think I told him that.
Wow. Raw steaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raw steaks.
All right. So let's get back to Murray State. Okay. So, what stood out about Murray State University that made you confident and committed to their program? What made you feel like this was the place to be? Because, you know, being an old ball coach, I always told my players, you got to go to a place that you feel you fit in and you love. What's so special about Murray State?
You know, what really hit home for me was just the coaching staff, and that staff was really the first staff to take notice in me and gave me a chance to show them what I was about on the field. So I went up to camp, busted my butt at camp, and they acknowledged that, and it just really meant a lot to me that they really took the chance on me and started this thing off for me. So I just really enjoyed that. And then the coaches, like Coach Ross, is just a great guy. He knows what he's doing. He's put together a couple really good offensive line groups, and I'm just ready to be part of another one of those really good groups. And then Coach Wright, the head coach, I mean, he's coached all over the place. He's been in the NFL, SEC schools, just big places, and he's just a really good family guy and really intelligent.
Nice. And, you know, talking about coaches, okay, tell us how your coaches at Richmond Hill, Coach Lazat, have influenced your development as a player and as a person and a student.
Yes, sir. From day one, I mean, just pushing me like in the weight room and in the classroom, like making sure like we'd sit down. I remember when I first got there, we would sit down like on a week-to-week basis and talk about like classes and make sure I had everything that I needed and stuff like that. And just they did a really good job of like checking up on me and just making sure everything is squared away in the classroom and on the field. And just Coach Azat's really helped me like mentally and stuff like that with learning the game a little bit. And even Coach Davis and Swilly in the offensive line room just really helping me with technique and stuff like that, so I can have a better understanding on what needs to be done.
Nice, nice. And if you're just tuning in on the internet or wherever on your phone, you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We're at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. We're talking to Richmond Hill standout offensive lineman, 4-year starter, 4-year All-Region offensive lineman. He's done a great job, Thomas Zimbalatti. So you just talked about Coach Lazat. He highlighted your work ethic. I know that stood out a lot to him. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
share some of your personal goals you've set for yourself on and off the field that you might be taking over there to Murray State?
Grades are a big thing, like especially off the field. Like you can't play football if you don't have good grades or at least decent grades. So you got to make sure everything's squared away in the classroom, and just if you need a little bit of help with something, you just always reach out and, hey coach, I need a little bit of help with this work. And they have resources that they can pull for you and help you out with that. And that's been a big thing for me, is like academics and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to Murray State, and I'm going to really worry about my academics. And then on the football side, on the field, just push myself to be out there, busting my tail, and go there and start being a young leader and just be coachable. So I'm excited.
And, your offensive line, your unit got recognized as one of the best offensive lines in the state after one of the games in September. So
Yes, sir.
what has it meant to you to have played a significant role in helping this group achieve incredible rushing statistics?
I mean, those are my brothers. I've grown up with them for 4 years now, especially in high school. Like I played a little bit of middle school ball with them, but especially in high school, like we've been through thick and thin. Like we've gone through 3-7 seasons and went through 7-3 seasons. And it's just, you build that chemistry with the guys next to you. And like my center, I played with him for 2 years, and he's just a really smart guy. And then my tackles, Cameron Jackson, he's a great guy. He always helps me out when I need something. He always lean over to either one of them and be like, hey, what was that supposed to be again? And they always hold me accountable, and I like to say I hold them accountable too. So it's always been great working with the group of guys, and we've all been together since day one. So it was special to see that finally pay off for us.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, you guys had an incredible season. I know you
We
fell
did.
short of making the playoffs, but you beat some big teams this year, and you played with some
Right.
big teams. And like everybody knows, Richmond Hill is not going to back down to anybody. So
Right.
now the next group we got to talk about, of course, is your family. How's your
Right.
family support you throughout your football journey, and what role have they played in your success on and off the field?
Yeah, I just want to go out and say we just got a brand new car a year ago, and there's already 100,000 miles on that thing. I mean, my dad and mom just always there for me, taking me to camps, making sure I have food to eat in between practices and workouts. And my mom's done a good job of helping me with the peanut butter and jellies. I love those things. And just my dad driving me where I needed to go and making sure I always had the right stuff with me, whether it's a change of clothes, or if I forget my girdle at the house when we're playing Colquitt at Colquitt, and bus is about to leave, and I'm like, hey dad, I need a girdle, and he rushes over to the house, and he takes time out of his day to make sure I have what I need, and it's just really important.
Yeah, behind every great kid is great parents, and they'll
Yes, sir.
support you throughout your whole life. It's something you'll never forget. All right, before
Right.
we get to the last question, I'm going to throw this at you. I didn't put it down here because I want to get your outlook on this. Every athlete has superstitions, okay?
Mhm.
And it's always fun to ask the student athletes this. So superstition number one, you're probably going to tell me already. What's your favorite food to eat before a game?
Favorite food to eat before a game would probably have to be like oh crap, what is it called? Oh, it's like the trail mix from Costco. It's
Yeah, I
like
know
in the
what you're
little
talking
purple.
about.
It's in the purple bag. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that's the go-to before a game.
it's
Go-to.
called. I'm going to make you laugh. It's called Carl's Trail Mix.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's so
I
funny.
know her very well. All right. Before a game, what type of music do you listen to get you going? Like we know all athletes do now. They put in
You
the
know,
airflow?
I tried that a couple times. I don't know. I like a quiet place. It's weird. I like a quiet place. I might sometimes walk around the corner in the gym, just sit on the bleachers, or even just like when the guys are locked in and they're all in the locker room ready to go, like 5 minutes before game time. Everybody's just that bone chilling moment of silence. It's crazy.
Oh, I was the same type of player. I didn't do the music. I would go off to the corner. Didn't
Right.
want to be bothered with all the, back in my day, it was Led Zeppelin, The Who, and,
Right.
people bouncing off the room. So I stayed in my own little special place. I didn't dig the
Right.
music. All right. Next is every athlete has to have some piece of special clothing or some kind of uniform piece that they got to wear every game. What was yours?
So there's this black cutoff T-shirt, and it says "Eat, Sleep, Practice, Repeat" on it, and it's black with green lettering, and there's a hole in it. I have like 7 of these shirts, and right before the Valdosta game, I looked down and I'm like, "Oh, it's the wrong shirt." So I think I remember calling my dad, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, can you run to my room, open the closet, and pull the right shirt down?" He's like, "What's the difference? They're the same thing." And I'm like, "Dad, I'm telling you, it's not the right one." And sure enough, he went and got it, and I always have to have it on. It has a hole right in the middle of it. It's the smallest hole ever, but it's there.
All right. And, you already gave us your outlook. Last question. You already gave us your outlook, what you want to do at Murray State and your goals and what you want them to see you as a player, student, athlete as. Okay.
Right.
So my next question is, okay, let's throw the football away here. What do you want to plan on majoring? What do you see yourself doing after this football career ends?
Maybe like a therapist, like sports med or something like that, kinesiology. I think it's what I'm going to study in college is some kinesiology. So I'm excited to learn about how the body moves and stuff like that.
Nice, nice. Well, Thomas, I've been watching you for a long time. I did meet you one game on the sideline. I don't know what game it was, but you were watching it, and you were a big kid back then. You're a big kid now, and
Right.
you know what? You found out where you want to go, where you want to be. It's going to make it a lot easier for you, but great job.
Yes, sir.
Everybody knows who Thomas Zimbalatti is, and I appreciate you coming on, and great job. And that's why you're this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And as you guys say over there, build the hill and go Cats.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Thomas. Look forward to meeting you.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
And go Races.
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, I just heard so many good things about this young man. Quiet leader, wants to be part of it. That offensive line unit over there at Richmond Hill is one that Matt Lazada is going to remember for a long time. Even though they didn't make the playoffs, they finished 7-3, a heartbreaker. They were just a team to be reckoned with. So once again, Thomas Zimbalatti, senior, Richmond Hill High School, going on to play at Murray State. So next up, we're going to talk a little Tiger basketball with none other than the man who's been in Savannah for a long time. He's got to give me 3 minutes. I got to take a break here, but he's waiting patiently. I promise you, Coach, 3 minutes. Cleavon Thompson, great job. Interim head coach at Savannah State. Can't wait to talk to him. Stay back. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Need a breather. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. 3 minutes, I promise you, Coach. I won't take a timeout.
Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded sound garden. Now, more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day.
Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics,
making a difference in our world, your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary Day School, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ at Calvary Day School. We would consider it a privilege to meet with you and your family personally. Call Alicia Bain, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room, if you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back, sports fans, to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. I mean, it's one thing after another and keeping track of what's going on here, but you know what? We got to talk about this guy. This guy's been part of Savannah basketball for over 20 years, did a great job at Bethesda Academy. So we're thrilled to spotlight Coach Calvin Thompson, the newly appointed interim head coach at Savannah State. He's a 2003 graduate of Savannah State with a degree in computer information systems. Coach Thompson brings nearly 20 years of coaching experience to the table. At Bethesda Academy, I mean, he led the Blazers to an incredible 12 Final Four appearances, 8 state championship games, 2 state titles, earning Giza, that's what it was called back then, and Skiza championships in 2012 and 2015. Now he's ready to take the reins at his alma mater, go Tigers, building on the legacy of his coach Broadnecks and steering the Tigers to new heights. So let's jump into this. Let's make a layup. Let's score a basket. Joining us now on the Coach's Corner hot seat is Coach Calvin Thompson. Coach, it's been a long time, but I'm seeing you still playing with that round ball.
Yes, sir. You know, there's no better ball.
I know you and I used to talk a lot about it. We used to coach against each other, but used to do some summer workouts together. It's just it's good to see that you landed in a place that, you know, you're having a good time. And now, did you ever expect that you're going to be called the interim head coach?
I mean, not at all. You know, not at all. Just kind of was in there trying to support up, making sure coach had what he needed to be successful and aid him, you know. So this part came as a surprise. But as always, you know, as coaches, you have to stay ready for everything, you know. So
like I did with Coach Mel Abrams, I do 4 questions. We call it 4 quarters with the coach. So here's our coach. So it's 4 coach with Coach Thompson from Savannah State. So share with us your thoughts and emotions when you heard that coach was retiring and you became the interim head coach. What was going through your mind?
Thing I had when I found out, I got a call from him, and I just wanted to make sure he was
Okay, we're losing you right now. You got to stay in one spot because we're losing you coming in and out.
Yeah, I asked him 2 questions. I asked him if he was okay and if he was sure. You know, and once he said yes to both of those things, his words to me were, you know, I'm excited for you and you should be excited as well. You know, but you know, it was still tough. You know, that's coach, you know, that's my guy. So bittersweet, but you know, once he said that, I looked to what was next, and that's getting these guys, you know, back together. So we had a game on Wednesday.
Did you ever think it was going to happen at your alma mater?
No, you know, if I'm being honest, no, because My goal going in is even after what you said with 20 years of experience on the high school level, I knew what I was missing, but I knew I wanted my goal next was to be a college head coach.
Nice.
But not at Savannah State, but wherever God led me. So my goal going in there was just to learn from him. The things that I didn't know about that on that being on that level. And that was great from each and every day up until, I had to, hence moving to the interim role. But the preparation started from day one you know.
Nice, nice. Okay, quarter number 2. Having led Bethesda Academy to such impressive success, including multiple Final Four, state titles, how do you plan to translate that to these guys at Savannah State that you're taking over this program now?
Just really understanding the difference between, teaching and coaching young boys to now dealing with young adults. And again, being with coach for the last 2 seasons gave me a chance to kind of understand that and deal with those guys on a day-to-day basis. Coach did a lot of the heavy lifting, but my job, the core part of my role was dealing with those guys every day, figuring out how they tick, finding out what to do to get the most out of them. So, I kind of understood that, but also knowing dealing with the older guys is different. They're men, so you got to treat them like
All right, we just lost you again.
that we have for them. Also understand that we have expectations for them, and they understand that. The understanding between coach and player on this level, it's a bit different. They understand they have a job, and their job is to get it done. Our job is to lead them and coach them. So some of those things are a little different, but it's still the same. They make mistakes. You have to correct. They do things that we don't want them to do, and we got to get them back in line. So it's kind of the same outside of the operation part and just dealing, we're on a college level.
Nice, nice. All right, quarter number 3. So you just mentioned Coach Broadnick's leaving a positive mark on the program. What are some of the key aspects of his legacy you plan to build on, and how do you envision making your own impact on the program?
Well, coach was a winner. You can see the banners when you walk in the gym. So for me, I'm a winner in my own right. So that's the first one, just continuing to build on that, as well as just the discipline, and everything else that he instilled in these guys in the program we currently have. I just continue to find ways to grow on that and bring in kids that will complement what we're trying to do.
Nice, nice. Okay, last quarter. All right. So, what are your goals for this team this season since you've taken over, both on and off the court? And how do you plan to engage the Savannah State community to support the program now?
I'll be honest, Carl. Our goals haven't changed. Our goals when we first started in October were to win the regular season and also win the SIAC tournament, and that's still our goals. And we're constantly working towards those goals each and every day. We dropped 2 here recently, but that's a part of the journey. We got to go back in, clean up the mess, and get back on the right track. But the goals are still intact. Winning is the goal. In terms of the community, I've always been a community guy. So
Yes, you
now that,
have.
I'm in the driver's seat is just kind of bridging what I've done on the outside with what I'm doing on the inside and pull the community closer. But that's been a big part of what I've done my whole career.
Well, I know you're going to take it to that next level, Coach, just like you did at Bethesda. You're a good man for the job, and those young men
Absolutely.
are looking at somebody that's a fine example of what it means: hard work, dedication, and from a guy that comes from another country, Jamaica. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, if you
Yes,
can
sir.
make it here, you've done a great job, Coach. I'm proud to say I can call you friend, and I'm happy to watch what you're doing, and I'll be following you and keep the great work. Anytime you got anything, anytime you want to promote the kids, just like we said when you were at Bethesda, let me know, and I'd love to have them on and talk to them.
Definitely. I really appreciate it a lot.
Well, Coach, I know we can't scrimmage anymore because I don't have a team anymore, but best of luck. And I got to say, go Tigers now.
Yes, sir. Go Tigers all the way.
Oh, we got a question. There is a question in the
Yeah, yeah,
comment
yeah.
box. Hold on. Okay, let me get to the question. Okay, there we go. So, Coach, how exciting was that win over Morehouse right after you got the job?
That was great. That was good. It kind of that's the break in the ice. I got that out the way. So again, we still had work to do. So getting back to work, but it was great getting the first win. As I say, winning is always the goal. Unfortunately, that's not always the outcome, but it's always the goal. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Coach. And I know you'll have them win over there. Thanks for coming on. I know it's been a long day for you, and this weekend you're up at Clark Atlanta. What does that look like?
Now they're coming to us. So it's another this is the not I want to say not region, but of course a conference game. So we got a couple of days to prepare for that. So we're in the gym now, just getting ourselves together, cleaning up a lot of our defensive habits that we don't need to have, so we can be ready for that game on Saturday.
Sounds good. 4 o'clock, Tiger Arena. Come watch the Tigers, led by now Calvin Thompson. Great job,
And
Coach. I'll talk to you later.
All right, it's Clevin.
You know, I've messed it up
Clevan.
I've messed it up your whole life.
Yeah, and I'm one of those guys that it doesn't bother me at all, Carl.
Well, I've gone through call with a K my whole life too, so I know what it's like. So
Yes, sir.
it's Clevin, not Clevan. It's Clevin, okay? And
Yes, sir.
that's why I just call him Coach. It's a lot easier.
That's it. It's easier. Yeah.
But Coach, I know who you are. You're a great man. You're a great leader. Keep up the great work.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carl, and you do the same.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks.
So Clevan Thompson, I always get it wrong. I do apologize, and that's why it's easy to call him Coach. But I'm telling you right now, I coached against him when he was Bethesda. He did such a great job at Bethesda, molding those young men, and now he takes it one young men. Now he's got to take men now and do the same thing, and I know he'll do a great job over there. So check it out. Saturday at Savannah State. I had a typo. I wrote down there away at Clark Atlanta while they're here in Savannah. 2 o'clock, the women take the court. Right after that, 4 o'clock, the Tigers take the court. Go check it out. You know you're going to get a great product with Coach Thompson there at Savannah State. He's got the interim tag now. Hopefully it'll be head coach next year. All right. Well, finally, we're done. Okay. I know my man Lawrence, he's standing over there. An hour and 7 minutes. He loves it. He'd like me to do a second hour, but you know what? It's time for this OG to get out of here. So, like I say every week, please say a prayer for what's going on in this crazy world. Please say a prayer what's going on out there in California. Please don't forget about the people in Asheville, North Carolina. Believe it or not, people, there's still people there living in tents from that hurricane in this freezing weather. So whether we're on the West Coast or the East Coast, we got to come together and help all these people out. I mean, it's just a tragedy, but Mother Nature, you can't control it. So as far as next week, please say a prayer for the country as we get started with our new president, second time around. We got to be behind each other. It's about the USA. It's about us together, not about different parties and different people, different cultures, different races. We're all one. No matter what color you are, no matter what religion you are, we are all one, and we have to pull together and get this right. Okay? So on that note, as Lawrence likes to hear, whatever you're doing tomorrow, stay warm, but always hit it out of the park. And until I talk to you next week, may it be your best week ever. Once again, God bless. Peace out. Talk to you next week. It's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Time to go home.